Must have been making videos for a while. When I started this project, there was this game, a game I knew well. And then there was this company, about to do heinous things to it. Or so I thought. Cause Ghost Trick is free from the DS jail, baby! Okay, listen. This is one of the games I shout from rooftops about. And the only reason I was not proactive about it before was the fact that it was stuck on a dead handheld and iOS. But as Ghost Trick has now received ports to modern consoles and, much more importantly, personal computers, let me tell you why you should buy it right now. Ghost Trick Phantom Detective is probably best described as a supernatural murder mystery, created by a team of people who previously worked on the Ace Attorney series. The protagonist, a suave-looking banana man named Cecil, finds himself dead as a doornail in an abandoned junkyard. Standing above his body is a red-headed woman and an assassin pointing a shotgun at her. He'd love to help, but what can a corpse do? Well, quite a lot it seems. As a certain helpful lamp explains, Cecil's spirit has become something of a poltergeist, being able to jump between objects and manipulate them. Unfortunately, it's not enough to save the poor lady. If not for another power he gained after death, that to connect to a fresh corpse and reverse time to 4 minutes before that person's death. However, all of these nifty murder prevention powers come with 2 drawbacks. Well, aside from being dead, that is. 1. Cecil does not remember who he was in life, nor how he died, and the mystery of his circumstances doesn't sit right with him. My dude has a whole noir-esque monologue at the beginning and the end of each chapter. Who was I? How did I die? What is this mystery? Huh. Colonel. 2. Once the sun rises on the horizon, his ghost will move on to the afterlife. As such, he has only this one night to discover the truth. And what better first lead to follow than the person that found his body? And wouldn't you just know it, that path takes Cecil and Jowd through twisty roads full of mysteries, revelations and the most overexpressive crazy characters this side of JoJo. This is one of these games. The bro just trust me going blind games. I really can't spill too many beans about it because, well, it's a mystery story. Being confused and trying to figure out what's going on is literally the entire point. If you ever played any Ace Attorney game, you can think of Ghost Trick as a single case from that series extended to a full length of about 15 hours. And there's frankly not a single bit of filler in that whole runtime. All this time you are either getting an answer to a previous question or getting 50 new ones instead. When Ghost Trick initially came out on DS in 2011, I bought it on a whim. I had cash to spare and noticed it in a store when I was browsing through games. The same evening I decided to play a few chapters and then put it down before bed, maybe just do the tutorial or something. I found myself staring at the end credits with tears in my eyes at 5 AM. Every time I thought I got a break and just untwisted some plot twist that was driving me crazy, the shock of the revelation still ringing in my head, and even twistier fucking twist was waiting right around the corner to slap me in the face like a particularly aggressive length of sentient sailor's rope. I genuinely think this is the best written supernatural mystery plot. Not just in games, but ever. Which is not to say that its interactivity as a video game contributes nothing to how the plot is constructed, far from it. The gameplay is simple, yet incredibly gratifying. As I said before, most of it relies on jumping from object to object and manipulating them to progress. There are 2 caveats to this. 1. Cecil's range in movement is rather limited, so a large chunk of looking for a solution is not just what can I do to stop this person from dying, but also finding a path to get there. 2. Despite being incorporeal, our boy is just not that strong. Particularly heavy or otherwise stuck objects like a really old switch are impossible for him to manipulate. So sometimes you need to gently coerce someone with a body to do your bidding. And the further the story goes, the more complex the situations and puzzles you need to solve. Forget just getting to the place you need to go and doing the thing. How about needing to time everything so that you can jump onto an object mid-motion, or having to stall the victim so that they don't get to the place of their demise too quickly. Just nail-biting stuff, which is helped in no small part by the presentation of the game. The visual presentation was nothing short of black magic on the DS. Look, I pirated a bunch of games on that platform. The average file size of a ROM was like 32 megabytes, and after checking on the high seas, Ghost Trick was about 80. Like, I have PDF files that weigh more, but they juiced everything they could out of that memory, giving everyone incredibly fluid movement full of personality. Just look at the superstar cop going down some stairs. Though, of course, what you are seeing is the PC port, where they remade all the 3D models from scratch and made them move in glorious 60 frames per second on the RE engine. They genuinely didn't have to go this hard, but they did, and I appreciate it. The music is also tense, energetic, whimsical, whatever the scene calls for. You have been hearing its 2023 arranged version throughout this entire video, as always. And as a nice bonus for the remakes, you can choose between the arranged versions and the original tracks, minus the beat crashing. How else can I sell you this game? Hey, you like dogs? There's Misao! You can't pet him, as ghosts don't have hands, but let me level with you. If somebody asks you what is the best dog in video games, there are two answers. Misao and I haven't played Ghost Trick yet. You may think I'm exaggerating for a goof. I'm genuinely not. And you know what? I want to gush some more, just for the people who already played this game. It is 12 years old after all, so if you already played Ghost Trick, join me on this spiritual journey. If you have not, I mean, I'm not gonna stop you, but no, go away. Go to the point in the future defined by the timestamp on the screen to avert the horrible fate of getting spoiled. Shoo! Are they gone? Ye gods, I hope so. I also hope that the auto-timing on subtitles doesn't ruin my attempts here. Having no context like this is the worst way possible to find out that Sissel was a cat all along. I've been thinking about this twist more than I care to admit, because on any kind of surface level scrutiny, I should hate this. It sounds like an out of left field twist that verges on a joke, a dismissal of any investment you had in the story up until this point. A fucking cat! But it's so not that. To the point where you just really kinda stop and have to think what the fuck even is writing quality to begin with. Because, yeah, of course the rules of this world allow for that. The second life you save in this game is that of a dog and it can talk to you. Losing skills such as reading or knowledge of how guns work are huge red flags too. Not to mention, winks and nudges are all over the place. Sissel saying he likes cramped spaces, constant aggression towards rats in the puzzles, him not knowing what darkness is, the fact you save exactly 9 lives throughout the plot. This twist was accounted for in all possible ways, and seeing the hints once you know is so satisfying. And this really extends towards the entire game because frankly, when thinking about it outside of the context of being in the moment, the plot is ridiculous. We have a ghost airbot stopping bullets in midair to swap them for a piece of a baked potato. But I took this plot more seriously than real life itself for those few hours, just because of how matter of fact it took itself and its rules. And that was 12 years ago, when I was 18, at the peak of my teenage brain irony poisoning. And it happened again now, when I'm a tired old man who's seen it all. There is something to be said about how far a story can be carried just by it being written confidently. It worked with the Ace Attorney series too, after all. The confidence is strong enough to let you forget about oopsies, like Sissel directly mentioning a bullet in an early chapter to not know how guns kill people 10 chapters later. I bet you didn't even notice before I said it. Writing, and especially writing a mystery, is an exercise in con artistry. The difference being in that a good story leaves you with a sense of satisfaction, catharsis or other emotional impact that makes you have it reverb inside your bones for years to come, whereas a good con leaves you homeless, penniless and on a tuna fishing ship in the middle of the Baltic Sea. But neither result can be achieved without the kind of charismatic confidence that pulls you in and makes you forget common sense. Suspend your disbelief, if you will. I know I'm saying truisms here, but I feel like in the modern deluge of instant feedback and communication between audience and authors, this notion has been somewhat lost. Writers, please remember, you owe your audience nothing but a good time. Lie to us, cheat us, just make sure that once the curtain is pulled and we will be able to see all the parts of the machine in retrospect, we go, "Ooh!" and not, "Oh." I realize that this is a pretty ironic conclusion to take from a game with a core message about truth being the highest virtue and how being open with one another is what lets us foster a community and help each other find happiness. But hey, how else can you make that message stand out if not by contrast to the rest of how the game works? Though, I think Ghost Trick also sticks the landing by making you feel that this truth was always there, and you simply missed it due to all the bullshit obfuscation. Alright, since I'm rambling anyway, we can all agree that Misael is the best dog in like all of fiction, right? Time traveling to save his owners, no matter how many times it takes? That's what doggies do! This is almost enough to turn me into a dog person, like holy shit. You can tell Shutakumi fucking loves his dog, also named Misael, and that he probably considers pets to be on equal footing with other people when he thinks of building a community and support network. Which is a really sweet message, honestly. Anyway, let's go back to the new present where the people who ignored my warning weren't spoiled. Yeah, let's go with that. Alright, so we're back. You can buy Ghost Trick here, 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 and here. I am not asking, I am insisting you experience this game and give Capcom the signal that this was a good move. I don't care about it getting a sequel, this is a perfect one-off story as it is. I just want, I don't fucking know, Cecil in Capcom vs Capcom once we jump timelines to the good one that allows for that game to exist. Or in Smash if they take new admissions at some point in the future. Just recognition, you know? Listen, you have no idea how infuriating it is that I need to pussyfoot around the bush here. Just trust me, bro, or sis, or enby buddy. Anytime a friend or a creator I know played this game on a stream or just told me about it in private, I've seen their reactions. I have yet to meet a person that did not vibe with this game. Which of course has been a bit of a self-selecting filter, but hey, you're here, aren't you? If our tastes aligned in any way in the past, get into this blind. Trust me. Come back here once you're done and tell me if I was wrong. We really went last minute this time, lads. Turns out taking a vacation does not give you a break from the video making brainworms. First and foremost, the opening animation was done by Frog King. Second, but not least, heartfelt thanks to all Patreons supporting my folly financially, now visible on the screen. I'll see you next month with more rambling. But here's an unrelated ramble. Dear Americans, what's the point of your currency being worth 4 times what mine is worth if first need articles like food and public transit are even more expensive? Like what the fuck? And I was promised rats and opossums in New York but met none. False advertising.